All right, back looking at the Aussie dollar again. It's right off the back of the last video I just did on US dollar. And US dollar seems to push higher and higher and higher, but Aussie dollar is not following suit. So, what does that mean? Is that non confirmation? Does that mean that the Aussie dollar is ready for a move higher? It's just waiting for this news event in an hour for that to happen? It could be the case. You don't really know. Um, Look, usually news events to me they indicate turning points in the market, right? Um, it's hard to say what a turning point is when you've had sideways markets for so long. So basically, what it could mean is it just breaks out of a range, but it has to do so in a very specific way. Obviously, for for the Aussie dollar to be confirmed as a bull, you really can't go below the last low. Technically, we really can't. Okay, if we do go below this low, it's going to be very hard for me to remain bullish on this one, right? Uh, like we just don't know what's going to happen. Like such volatility, it can make or break these types of patterns, right? Um, let's be logical for a split second here. For me, if anything, this is if you wanted to like be bearish right now, this would be like a zigzag pattern, right? It definitely could qualify as one simply because the corrective portion is complete, right? It would be definitely not very nice if that happened, but it's definitely something that could happen, and we now have a setup where we could see maybe something like that. Now, just to sort of make sure that we're not seeing that really at the high, at the small degree, like right here, right now, it's 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 such a small degree thing that you'd need to be very careful how you analyze this. And you, to me, it's looking like an A. Look, that could be a B. To say that's a C right there, yeah, it's a bit of a pain. Um, look, much to the point where you could almost argue that this is a one here, like a two, maybe a three down here. Yeah, see that would be maybe like an A wave sort of thing. If this is maybe potentially an A wave, uh, almost completed, we definitely get some up and down movement here, right? Like this type of thing for a wave A, right? Uh, it would more than likely break the low here, and um, yeah, we'd have to like make a pullback, see a pullback, and look, we'd just probably just go up and down more sideways for a lot longer, right? And that's the problem. We'd probably end up doing this for a while, and then another leg down, and then after a while, you'd see potentially like just just more sideways price action as time goes on. Um, A, B, and then C, and then another D, and then another E, and then maybe even like like a wave three down, something like that, right? Now that there is the bearish view, which it might as well just not look at this thing for a while, right? Give it a while and let it resolve itself. If that's the bearish view, don't bother, basically, because it's not going to fall straight away. It's definitely going to hang in this area, this range. It's probably going to range for a while if it's a bearish view. And if that's the case, fine, like whatever. But it's not really a fun way to look at it right now. And unfortunately, we could be looking at that sort of thing, right? I have to present that view because it's not a popular view, but if we have to be ready for some kind of bearish price action, well, that's the kind of thing that I'd be looking for, right? And there's not much movement there. Like you'd be looking for a pullback and then shorting this thing, basically. And then even that wouldn't be very fun either. And yeah, anyway, so let's leave that bearish view there for a while, and let's just go back a few steps. On the other hand, what else could we be seeing here? The other thing that could be happening here is potentially an expanded correction. Not ideal, definitely possible. Like all views are somewhat possible, I suppose. We could be seeing like a wave one here, followed by an a B. We could even be seeing a C right now where we are, up to the point where we are. With this view, you can't go below the red line there at 0.668. What would come next would more than likely be a zigzag to the highs, back down to the highs in D wave, and then maybe even a retest of the break and then continue higher. For a bullish view, that doesn't sound too bad. It sounds kind of logical because you can see that this move down is not very strong, right? It's weak. It's a weak 5 wave move, and it's a non-confirmation move when you compare it to the US dollar. So what we're seeing at the small degree there down the bottom here, yeah, you could try and figure that one out, or you could just have it in the idea that maybe like you had half the correction there and the other half is sort of a bit more expanded. uh well, I wouldn't call that half, maybe less than half, but it's an expanded correction, which means it starts off small and it grows bigger until it expands into something larger. That's fine. Like there's no hard and fast rule for that. That's possible, absolutely. Impulsive moves aren't always the move that break through the start of wave E's, right? Sometimes it takes the corrective portion of that move to break through the wave E to confirm, and then it keeps going higher. I've seen all scenarios play out before. I've even seen the kind when they come back and wreck you when you're completely wrong. I've seen them all, but I've got to take them all into consideration and give you all kinds of views. At the moment, I wouldn't be too bearish on Aussie dollar, just because the US dollar is now almost officially in a downtrend. So to assume that like US dollar is going to continue higher in a downtrend is basically like trying to trade against the current, right? It's really not a good idea. So yeah, that's the kind of thinking I suppose is in the background of this whole thing. So let's see how that pans out, especially after this news event in about an hour. So hopefully we get some good news. Hopefully this starts to look like it's making more sense, and I'll catch you on the next one.